Hello and good morning or good afternoon, everybody. Depending on where you are now. Welcome to our November CDA for this year, transforming institutional repositories into fully open science databases. Um, First of all, we would like to thank every single person who attended with us today. I can see many people are coming now, and I'm sure that there will be many more joining us later on. So our CDA today is like what we said, transforming institutional repositories into fully open science databases by Lucas Weber. Um, Next slide, please. But just before we start, we would like to run through very common housekeeping rules for Zoom that would help us. First of all, the Zoom feature we have is the movable window. You can actually move your window anywhere in your desktop so that if you are sending emails, responding to emails, you will be able to just set it aside for in the corner of your screen. And we have the second option, the raise hand option. So please use this option if you notice that our speaker or any of our speakers today is speaking too fast or something and you would like just to slow the pace. Please use this option and we would know what it means. The last two options, chat and Q&A. For the chat, make sure to use the chat if you would like to introduce yourself and let us know where you're from. And if you're facing any technical issues, I'm sure we will be here to help. However, if you have any content-related questions, please just make sure to drop it in the Q&A box you would find in the bottom of the screen, the bottom of the Zoom application, yeah, on your desktop. Next slide, please. Before we start, we would just like to provide you with a brief summary of FORM, the Forum for Open Research in MENA, which is a non-profit membership organization supporting the advancement of open science policies and practices in research communities and institutions across the Arab region. We support the advancement of open science ecosystems and higher educational institution and right across the Arab world. And we create accessible and localized resources relating to the implementation of open science policies and practices. We encourage collaborative community partnerships and cooperation between members and partners of Forum. We champion the development of right-to-left functionality in key open sources and open science technological solutions. Next slide, please, Mira. And our vision is to unlock research for and in the Arab region and working towards a more open world. Our mission is to support the advancement of open science practices in research communities and research institutions across the Arab world by facilitating the exchange of actionable insights and the development of practical policies. Up to date, our network consists of researchers, librarians, professors, policymakers, university leaders, and open science advocates. We have more than 19 members and partners from different institutions from different spots in the world. We have more than 5,000 individuals from more than 200 institutions across more than 100 countries. Next slide, please, Mira. The capacity building in with FOAM is to produce we have four aspects for the capacity building, which is the localized resource library, the Diamond Open Access Journal, the community development activities, and the regional research projects. What we are doing today for this event, it's part of our community development activities. And for the community building, we have the regional discussion forum, the regional open science newsletter, and the stakeholder priorities framework. Next slide, please. And connections and representations. We are connecting local stakeholders with global organizations. We support collaborative multilateral dialogues, and we participate in global working groups. We provide Arabic translation for global organizations, and we sign declarations and joining aligned organizations. So I know that you are here not to listen to me, you're here to listen to our speakers today. So without further ado, I would be leaving the floor now to the Director of Development and Innovation in PCG Academia, Lucas Vover. Vaver. I hope I did it right this time.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's Waver.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you so much. So I would leave you now with Lucas, who would be our speaker for today. And just please, before I leave, make sure to use the chat option if you'd like to communicate with us, or if you would like to interact, or even if you have any technical issues with your Zoom. However, if you have any content-related questions, please make sure to leave your questions in the Q&A section, and I'm sure that we will get back to it today. Thank you.
Thank you. So I understand I have to now take my screen. Okay. Okay. Do you see my screen on full screen? My presentation there. Okay. Great. So I will proceed. My topic on today is transforming institutional repositories into full open science databases. Before I start the presentation, a few words about my expertise. I've been working for a few years for the Ministry of Science and Higher Education in Poland. From 2021 to 2024, I've been head of digital transformation unit and also the representative of the ministry in the national team for the public statistic for science. I've been also the designer and originator of the national Polish quiz system named People of Science. And I also been awarded for this by the bronze medal for merits by the Minister of Science. From 2024, I'm in PCG Academia as the leader of the science area. Now, one slide about the organization I work for now. PCG Academia is part of the bigger public consulting group company from United States with 38 years of tradition. In Poland, which I came from, PCG is owner of two companies, the PCG Academia, the exact company I work for, and Libers, the company that delivers solutions and consulting for K-12 education. In Poland, we are helping more than 10,000 primary and secondary school and 80 higher education institutions. We also make our expertise help other universities all around Europe, of course. And we are the partner of Times Higher Education in Poland. I hope you know this organization, the organization that is strongly related to university rankings. Now I will start from the strategies for aligning repositories with institutional international open access policies. So, how to start our doings with open science, with transforming the repositories? What's the key points? I will proceed through these points in the next slides. It's an agenda for this point of this today's meeting. So we will start from the open access to scientific publications, then we proceed to open research data, FAIR principles, open peer review, identifiers, open tools, and the responsibility for data storage and archiving. Speaking of open access to scientific publications, nowadays it's required mostly by funding bodies, especially in European Union. When you achieve money from the funder, you are then obligated to put your presentation to publish in open access, or to publish your preprint of your work, for example, in the institutional repository. This institutional repository also have to be certified, for example, by Core Trust Seal certificate. It is also needed to use Creative Commons licenses, most typically CC BY. Speaking of levels of required open access, the best way is to publish in diamond or platinum open access way, but it's not so common situation, as we know. Then we have gold open access. Is the situation when the article is available freely, but the publisher requires an APC, so your university, your institution have to have some resources to for you to publish in that way. And the most common open access way that is used in Europe is green open access. It's a very easy way because in that case you publish, of course, in a journal that is closed, but in many cases, but you have to put your preprint or postprint in an institutional or subject repository. Sometimes there is also an embargo period for the publications. Most common situation is 6 to 12 months, but I think it's most common and most effective way to go into the open access without big costs. There's also a hybrid open access in the situation when the journal is subscription based, but the author can pay the individual article to be in open access, but it's often criticized because it leads to also many ways to double dipping. So the institution pays both for subscriptions and APCs in that journal. Then we have bronze open access. It's a rather a rare situation. It's when the article is free to read, but it lacks a clear license, and it's mostly temporary. It's not considered to be a full open access, but in some ways it's also being used. But in that 5 cases, I would strongly recommend to use the green open access as you can do it in your repository. Then we have an open research data. There's a quotation about that. The research data should be as open as possible, as closed as necessary. It looks like you have to deposit your data also in the repository, the research data, without the embargo or with the minimal embargo, providing all the metadata descriptions so that all the readers, the scientists all around the world could reach your research data, your repository. The case you see in the screen is one of the implementations of the repository that is not also the research data repository, but it's also the standard publication repository. Two systems in one. It can be set in SWPS University in Warsaw in Poland. There's a QR code you can scan and proceed to this repository. A few words about the FAIR principles. I assume you know well the four principles: definable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. But every of these aspects are related to some issues, some identifiers, some standards. Speaking about the findable requirement, your data should be easy to locate, and it will be easy to locate when you will use at least for three identifiers: the DOI, ORCID, and ROR identifiers. Your data should be accessible through these most standardized protocols like OI, PMG, or through the REST API. Your data should be interoperable, so it means that you have to use standard metadata formats like Dublin Core, which is most common standard used in the world, or serif. And you have to be sure that your data are reusable, so that it means that the data you put in your repository, deposit in a repository, are licensed properly, for example, in CC BY license, and are ready to use. In the European Union, FAIR principles are, of course, mandatory for data in Horizon Europe projects. It means that every output of the project should be placed in the repository of the publication, patent, the research data, and so on. Everything should be available for the researchers all around the world. About open peer review and transparency of research process. Nowadays, it's increasingly recommended to publish the peer reviewers, to publish your sign in the review. You don't have to hide yourself in the review. You have to sign that you are the person who reviewed that publication. There's also a new possibility from I think 1 year, using the open peer reviews protocols like the COAR Notify. On the screen, you see the website of COAR Notify initiative. It's an initiative that gives you a possibility to communicate the repositories with themselves. In that case, when you deposit a publication in your repository, you can order an open peer review. In that case, the users from the other repositories, administrator of other repositories that are compliant with the COAR Notify protocol will receive the notification about new work that is that wanted to have a open peer review. It's a first use case, and the second use case is related to that protocol. Is that when you deposit a work in your repository, that could be related to the other university. For example, there is a co-author from the other university. This other university that uses the CAR protocol will receive a notification about new work that has been deposited in the other repository, and you can download this record to your database. It's very useful, especially when you publish with authors from the other universities. There's also a QR code. You can proceed to this website and read some more information about this. On this screen and the homepage, you will see solution systems that supports this CAR protocol notify. Speaking of identifiers, I'm quite sure you know about DOI number, that is object identifier, person identifier, which is our seed, of course, but from about 1 or 2 years, there's also available the ROR identifier. It's an identifier for the institution. Using these free identifiers will give you a full compliance with the international data aggregators. It will give you a great visibility boost for your publications, and your publications will be easily findable in not only in your repository but also in other solutions. Few words about open tools and infrastructure. The most common repository on open source license model is the DSpace repository. Now it's the most popular repository in the world with more than 40% of market share, with 3,030 installations. Now it's going to be version 9 released of DSpace. And it's perfect for scientific repositories, quiz systems, arts repositories, and so on. PCG Academia is a partner of LYRASIS, the nonprofit global organization that tries to that coordinates the development of the open source technologies for open science like DSpace. The LYRASIS cooperates only with certified partners. We are the platinum service provider and code distributor. We implements DSpace, help institutions to organize their open science policies in that case, and we adapt DSpace to the needs of the universities. Speaking of the responsibility for the data storage and archiving, this requirement is based on preparing the data management plans, DMPs, the long-term storage of your data in certified repositories. I mentioned about Core Trust Seal. I will give you some words about it in the next slide. And minimizing the risk of data loss. Standard DNP includes data summary. In data summary, you can claim a purpose of data collection and processing, types and formats, for example, of data generated or collected, expected size of data, data utility for scientific community, and so on. Then the FAIR principles, you have to declare The data will include clear versioning, naming conventions, documentations, keywords. You have to use project acronyms, grant numbers, and so on to organize perfectly your data collections. Then you should use the preferred formats of data like CSV, JSON, XML, and so on, controlled vocabularies. You have to describe in your documentation the relationship between data sets and workflow steps. Allocation of resources, it's not next thing you have to include in your DMPs. It's most common the allocation of funds for long-term storage, the repository fees, if there's any, you have to provide the personnel time for creation. You have to set the data manager that will oversee the whole implementation of your DMP. There's also data security. So first of all, it's most important for the repositories. You have to secure the backups of your data that have to be done recommended daily. You have to clear the situation about the personal data. So if there's any risky data, all of this data should be pseudonymized, of course. Speaking of ethical aspects, it's related in Europe to GDPR. The acts like GDPR, you should go to your country requirements about the personal data processing. It means that the sensitive data sets should be anonymized or withheld where justified. And open licenses. Of course, the more open you are, it's better. If you use open source software, it will give you some additional boost for your repository, especially why it's recommended to use open source licenses to open data repositories. Now a few words about the Core Trust Seal certification. On the screen you see 16 requirements, 16 issues related to Core Trust Seal certification. There's a mission and scope. That means your repository have to have a clearly defined mission, scope of collections, designated community. There's about licenses and terms of use. There have to be transparent licensing terms and conditions for access and use of data and metadata. Continuity of access, so there have to be a plan exists to ensure ongoing access to the repository holdings over time. Confidentiality and ethics. It means that all the ethical and legal issues have to be addressed. So data confidentiality, privacy, ethical standards have to be considered in this certification. Then the organizational infrastructure. So that means that repository have to have the adequate governance, staffing, have to have the organizational structure to fulfill its mission. It means that you have to have the personnel related, for example, from the library for publications, from the scientific unit, for example, for the project depositing, and so on. Then the expert guidance, so that the repository draws an internal or external expert guidance to inform its practices, data integrity and authenticity. It means that there are mechanisms in place to guarantee the integrity and authenticity of digital objects. For example, the checksums versioning of the data, appraisal. There are criteria to assess which data and metadata to accept into the repository, selection or quality thresholds. And there also have to be documented storage and security within documentation that includes backup, access control, physical digital protection, preservation planning. It means that you have to have a long-term preservation plan with format migration, media refreshment, risk management, and so on. Then data quality, metadata quality, its commitment to data quality and reach standard compliant metadata to support the reuse of your data. Then workflows and procedures, all core repositories workflows, ingest, curation, dissemination have to be documented in the instructions for also in the instructions for the users, and have to be easily repeatable. Data discovery identification, it means that the data are easily discoverable and unique identifiable. So you have to use good projected, good planned search engines in your repository that will give the possibility to search and discover all types of data you store in your base. Data reuse, metadata and documentation support long-term use, enabling users to understand and use the data. Technical infrastructure. It means that your repository should run on reliable, well-supported technical infrastructure appropriate for its service. When you will decide to store also the research data in your repository that will need a lot of space, for example, in your server. Many of universities are using now the cloud services for that because very often a single file of research data could have more than 5 terabytes of size, so it could slow down your repository if your infrastructure is not on the level as it should be. And security, it's quite obvious. The technical infrastructure have to ensure security for the facility, data, and users, protection from threats, DDoS attacks, and so on. We know that some of these attacks are not not the bad attacks. These attacks came from the scientific data aggregators that are harvesting your repository. So it means that you only have to ensure the stability of your repository and secure. Now I will proceed to some case studies from leading institutions that successfully implemented repositories and developing the repositories for open science. First use case I wanted to show you is CRIS, Current Research Information Systems, from National Research and Development Institute for Industrial Ecology in Romania. On the screen, you can see the author profile. What is good to say about it, that the author has most common metrics in its profile. There's also, of course, an achievements related to these scientists and so on. It's really important to use, as I mentioned, the identifiers for your researchers. So in your CRIS profile, you should use as many identifiers of the person as it can be. ORCID is must have for every scientist in the world, in my opinion, in that days. But most commonly, researchers use other IDs, for example, Scopus, Web of Science author ID, researcher ID, and so on. There's also a QR code, so you can scan and proceed to look into this repository, this CRIS system. Next implementation, good implementation that uses best practices of open science is Poznań University of Life Sciences in Poland. There you can see CRIS publication view. You can see here the publication identifier, web access address of this publication, license of this publication, keywords, and so on. Next interesting implementation of open repository from Koźmiński University in Poland. In the screen, you see a use case of repository when you try to organize a site of your journal. It's based on DSpace also. As you can see, there's all of essential information about this journal, including the metrics, the publications that are related to this repository. So it's one of the use cases that are most common for the open repositories, the open journal system. University of Warsaw, a biggest university in Poland, one of the biggest universities in Europe, uses the same as open software DSpace for its repository. What is interesting in this repository, which is the feature that is developing very fast in Europe, is registering United Nations Sustainable Development Goals classification. You can tag the publication in that repository with the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and after this tagging, you can report, you can analyze your publication strategy, which goals are being achieved by your publication. There's a publication view from University of Warsaw with the altmetrics. Everyone now, I think, focuses on the metrics like impact factor, site score that came from the commercial databases. But there's also good to have the open metrics like altmetrics, plumbings, or dimensions. These metrics are related not only for citations, scientific citations, but also they are related to medias, mainstream medias that your work has been mentioned in there. Now, I think one of the best open repositories in Europe, University of Zurich from Switzerland, repository named Zora. This repository perfectly allocates the issues related to open science policies, open access conditions. You can see here latest on this homepage, latest additions. Every addition is tagged by type of the open access. There's also a big bunch of the statistics of open access by year, faculty, and so on. There's also some kind of the open access monitor in this university. They approach this subject in every case. I think there's a lot of live statistics you can see in this repository. You can browse the overview in many cases by faculty, by embargo type, by year, by scientists, and there are many more statistics related to open science. In this repository, more than 50% publications are in open access. So it's around 100,000 of records. I really advise you to go there and look on this repository, how it's organized. Another diagram from this open access monitor. As you can see, there's a big focus on that. It's one of the best organized open access repositories, as I mentioned, in Europe. It's really worth to see it. Another use case of this repository is related to reporting tools. There's a lot of possibilities to export the data. In many ways, you can prepare reports many reports as you like. In many cases, you have to do. At the end, from practical steps to improve the repository, discoverability, usability, and impact. I will start from evolution of scientific information management. We had 5 types of scientific information systems. So we have repository, bibliographic database, research data repositories, reporting systems, and of course, so the CRIS solutions. I saw in many cases that universities try to build 5 or 3, 4 solutions and try to communicate these databases between them, but it's not necessary now because it can be all done in one system. I will, for example, in CRIS solution on this space. Nowadays, CRIS system, it's a system that contains publication repository, other achievements repository like projects, patents. It consists also of a bibliographic database, research data repository, and mentioned reporting tools like in Zora repository. One step back. Firstly, we had bibliographic databases that stored only records of metadata of publications. Then we had bibliographic databases that stores records of metadata and files of these publications. Then the CRISes came up that it's not also a repository that stores the records of publication, but all kinds of scientific achievements with linking between them. And the reporting system that can merge the data from different systems and prepare the reports. All of these types of the systems can be now included only in one solution that are really easily to use. The CRIS solution in open software, open source DSpace technology. Linking entities. It's now very important to link as many entities as you have in the repository. So it means that every entity should be linked in every other entity, like in this diagram. For example, when you have the entity of person, it's recommended to link it with project, with publication, with patent, with unit that the person is working for, with the conference entity, the infrastructure that is being used by this researcher, and of course with research data that is an output of this person. DSpace open source technology is recommended by many organizations, including the PCG Academia and Google Scholar. It's a screen from Google Scholar, and you can see that there's a recommendation. If you run a university repository, we recommend you to use the latest version of ePrints, Digital Commons, or DSpace software to host your papers. One giant talked to the other technology giant, and they make a deal, of course, to proceed data very well. So it means when you deposit the publication in DSpace, it's easily to use it and search it within the OpenAIRE-based WorldCat, Core, and Google Scholar databases. You can see on the screen a publication from one of the universities from Poland, the Jagiellonian University, that has been stored in the repository. And on the other screen, the bigger one, you see the publication view in the base searching engine. You can see the data source, that is Jagiellonian University repository. So it means that when you deposit a publication in your repository, it's not needed to go into your repository for searching this publication. Your publication will be available worldwide. Types of metrics used in repositories: impact factor, site score, OpenAlex citations, altmetrics, dimensions, plummix. I know the time is going to the end, but I just want to type you this metrics. It's now recommended to use not only the metrics from the commercial databases, but also from the open source, open solutions like OpenAlex, altmetrics, dimensions, and plummix. And at the end, to sum up, how to improve the repository interoperability and visibility. It's good to know all the repository worldwide registers. The OpenDOR, Directory of Open Access Repositories, DRIS, Directory of Research Information System, ROAR, Registry of Open Access Repositories, Fair Sharing, created research of data, metadata standards, OpenAir. It's good to be indexed there especially for institutions that aims in scientific cooperation with European countries. ReFree data, it's a registry of research data repositories. DOI, Directory of Open Access Journals, and DSpace.org. When you register your repository in this many registers, you will boost your visibility of your repository. It will be much easier to find, not only for the researchers, for a person, but also for the harvesting bots from the data aggregators. If you aims to the visibility of your repository, it's strongly recommended to register your database in this registers. To sum up, how to improve your repository interoperability, we recommend to use three main identifiers: the ROR, institutional identifier, ORCID, DOI, and DOI identifier in a repository. It's not easy to convince all your scientists to use ORCID ID, but really try to do it, because it's not only a benefit for your institution, but it's strongly beneficial for themselves, for their career, for their visibility in the scientific information systems. Then prepare the DMP with the mandatory use of ROR in the affiliations. It's really necessary now. Not on all the publishers use the ROR identifier, but when it is possible, we recommend to use the ROR identifier in the affiliation. Use the links between entities to boost your reports capabilities. Use the communication protocol, OIE-PMG, REST API, CORE. Use the data harvesters from Crossref, OpenAlex, WOs, Scopus databases. You can harvest by your repository data automatically. Then use the recommended open source software for your repository, for example, DSpace. as I mentioned, recommended by Google Scholar also. Register your repository in the mentioned before registers and gain the Core Trust Seal certification. It's a way to confirm the quality of your repository. You will be sure then that your repository is well indexed, well cooperating with international data aggregators. It's summary of your actions within the repository when you when you will proceed through all the recommendation. You will boost the visibility of your publications. Then will be a knowledge transfer. The knowledge transfer will go into citations and prestige, and it will be a boost to your positions in the university rankings. At the end, I wanted to mention about the using AI technology in repositories. In this year, there's a big interest in building AI technology in repositories, especially the retrieval augmented generation solutions, the RAG solutions. It will give you a possibility to ask a question to the repository, and the repository will come up with an answer, but the answer without hallucinations, the answer that is based on specific publications. So the repository will give you an answer and will give you an articles, scientific articles, books stored in this repository that the answer for your question is in there. And other use case of AI in the repository is AI accessibility. It will give you a possibility to convert your files that sometimes they are scans and they are not ready to automatic readers. It first of all, it will give you an effective fulfillment of obligations regarding to the content accessibility, and of course it will give you a boost for your visibility because the bots can search the content automatically in this converted documents. So I think it's all for me for today. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. It will be worthwhile for you, and you will use this recommendation to boost your repository. If you want to try to reach me, you can see my email and phone number. We can give you some additional advices to boost it up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucas. Really thank you for the presentation and for the valuable insights you have shared with us today. I see that there is a raising hand. Someone would like to say something. Try more. All right. So for our attendees, please make sure if you have any questions. I think we have a room for 1 or 2 questions if you would like to add them to the Q&A discussion. For myself, I had a question, but I think you have answered it during the presentation, so thank you so much for this. And I will be just giving it 20 seconds if anybody has any question to add. And I can see that there is a raising hand. If you would like to add your question. Oh yeah. Are you going to share the presentation slides?
Yeah, of course, I will. I will send to Mira and to you, and I hope you will share it to all the participants.
Thank you so much, Lucas.
If you would like also to reach me, I've sent my email in the chat, so please write, and we can cooperate in that way also.
All right. Thank you. Really, really thank you. Mira, could you please move on to the next slide, please? So again, thank you so much everyone for attending our webinar for today. Thank you so much, Lucas, as well for being with us today. So you may see the QR code on the screen. Please complete this survey. I mean, we would like to get your responses. We would like to get your feedback because this is what pushes us forward. This is what brings all what the community needs. So by just completing the survey, which will not take more than 2 minutes of your time, we will be able to know what our community, what our audience needs so that we can implement it in our next year's plan. We would so much appreciate it, and it will help us improve our activities and improve your experience. Next slide, please, Mira. And before we leave, we would like to ask you if you are, I mean, if your institution is interested in joining our membership, the forum membership. It's an institutional membership. It's completely free of charge. Just if you would like to be our partner or our member, just scan the QR code. It will take you to the website where you can get the membership application pack and membership application, and you will reach out to us. It's just a very simple onboarding process. It's an institutional. So if your institution follows the activities of the Open Research Forum and believes in its mission to support the development of open science in the region, you are invited to join us. Next slide, please, Mira. And you can register now for the upcoming CDA or Community Development Activity for next month on the 10th of December, mapping Arab Open Access Journal Landscape by Dr. Emily Chainovsky. It will be held in December. So you may scan the QR code, or you can just visit our website, and it will be there. You can register your interest, and we can see you again next month. I mean, it's just in a couple of weeks or 3 weeks. Next slide, please, Mira. So once again, thank you so much for attending today's webinar, and we hope to see you soon in December's. And one more time, thank you so much, Lucas, for your time and for your valuable presentation. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.